Hey guys, welcome to Dan and Bryn Start a Gym. Thank you so much for showing up today. Last week we went over exercise and nutrition. We talked a little bit about exercise intensity, and we'll be going over that again a little bit later and what that kind of means, sets and reps sort of stuff. We also talked about nutrition and how good nutrition is important to make sure that we get results and see things. Right now we're going to be going over recovery. And remember, when you're not seeing progress in your body composition, if you're not seeing changes, typically something in one of those three categories is off, if not more than one of those three categories, either your exercise, your nutrition, or your recovery. Now, recovery seems to be the most neglected and the one people are most unaware of. Now, a lot of people neglect their nutrition as well, thinking that somehow they can out-exercise poor nutrition, but that never happens to be the case. When it comes to recovery, every once in a while, somebody's nutrition will be great, their exercise intensity is perfect, and they're trying to grind it out, they're trying to force a lot of stuff to happen faster than maybe what it could. If you find that you're having trouble sleeping, if you find that you're feeling fatigued all the time, and you don't feel like as though you're recovering from your workouts well, you're seeing that things are getting a little weaker, you might not be recovering well enough. Now typically, you'd want to make sure that you're recovering via sleep. That's the best way to recover. There are supplements that you can take as far as vitamins and minerals. Making sure your nutrition is on point will also help with that recovery time. You know, obviously, lots of leafy greens, lots of lean proteins is going to be better for recovery than things like pizza and or alcohol. That's not going to help you recover all that much, but that kind of goes without saying. Ideally, when it comes to recovery, this is the opportunity for you to develop a real self-awareness sort of ability. You want to be able to tell when you are recovering and when you're not. Now, it's a little hard when you first start exercising because what's the difference between overtraining and not training enough, and I'm sore and I'm not sore? When I first started working out, I gave myself one particular rule, and that was always that if I didn't feel like working out that day, I did 15 minutes. I always showed up at the gym every single day because the habit of exercise and going to the gym was the most important aspect for me personally. When it came to the exercise itself, there was days where I didn't want to go to the gym. I just didn't, and I set a rule in place. I wanted to change my habits, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do 15 minutes of work every day. If I go in and I do 15 minutes of legitimate work where I warm up really well, I do my 15 minutes. If after that 15 minutes I feel like, man, I still feel like crap, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, maybe I'm really, really sore, then I went home and I chalked it up as a win. It was a W for me, simply because I was able to re-ingrain that habit of exercise, constantly going, okay? Because for me, exercise wasn't something to get results, it was gonna be something that I wanted to practice for the rest of my life. It's something that I thought would be, something that I really, really love. And so it wasn't about losing weight, it was about the exercises themselves. I wanted to get good at these exercises like a sport. And so that habit was really important. Now in that recovery, that's part of listening to your body. There is a reason why bodybuilders separate muscle groups. It's so that they can acquire more recovery in certain muscle groups. If you're doing full body exercises, you can also get recovery by weighting, and you can determine whether or not you're doing heavy loads or light loads. If you did something really, really heavy, the next day you might want to do something really, really light. You wouldn't want to go heavy day to day to day after day. More than likely you'd end up overtraining. For most people though, overtraining is a little bit harder than you may think. You'd have to really put in a lot of work, but you can build towards it. If you try to go too fast, too soon, you can overtrain, but it's just like anything else. The better you get, the more training you can do. So I myself do about 2 hours worth of work. That might be overtraining for some, but I've been lifting now for well over a decade. And so that's for me personally. Again, the best way to get recovery is sleep. That's when your body likes to recover at its finest. It likes to do most of its recovery when you are sleeping. So making sure that you get enough sleep and appropriate sleep. The other thing you want to do is make sure your muscle tissue quality is at its finest. So lots of massage, foam rolling, that sort of thing will really help and speed up your recovery process. If you're having a lot of problems with DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, and fascial knots, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting all of that fascial work with foam rolling and different foam rolling techniques. Not just with a foam roller, but they got all kinds of massage tools, hooks, balls, and stuff like that. We might be going over those on a later date in the future, but for right now, remember to stay inside your wheelhouse, right? You don't know what you don't know, and just practicing the things that you do know and getting really good at those is going to be way more beneficial than trying to copy somebody doing some crazy ass exercise somewhere where you're like, look at this guy standing on one hand, juggling knives, you know, while he's squatting with a single leg. Don't overdo it, right? I saw a video of a guy doing a back squat and bicep curls at the same time where the bar was just balancing on his back. That's ridiculous. Right? There's no reason to do that sort of thing. You're trying to expedite a process that shouldn't be expedited, right? Learn to enjoy the grind. That's where most people fail, is they want to get in and get out and look how fast I made my results. And personally, look how long it took me to get mine. I'm much more proud of my long results than I am of my fast results. And they're more easily sustained. So again, feel free to subscribe. We would love it if you would stop by our gym here in Federal Way at Temple Fitness. If you know who we are, don't be afraid to look us up on Facebook and Instagram. Adios, muchachos. Say bye, Bryn.
Bye.